In his time, Cormac re-established the high kingship to such magnificence that he became the Shanaquis, poets, the scribes' favourite and most loved High King of Ireland. He rebuilt Catara into great halls for his soldiers and for the banquets. Evidence shows that the foundations of the Great Hall had 14 doorways in it. This was Cormac's doing. And even to this day, when you go to Tara, which I have done, you can see Cormac's house, Gráinne's enclosure. This is all fingerprints of Cormac's work. Cormac did produce great works of literature and annals. One of them is called Psalter of Tara because it still doesn't exist to this day, but there's been so many references to it in the chronicles and annals of Ireland, and so many Shanaquis and poets have talked about this book. It was a very rich mine of very ancient, historic and genealogical information, and that it was regarded as the greatest and most reliable authority of the very early days. This is from The Story of the Irish Race by Seamus McManus. Unfortunately, every great reign comes to an end, and after 40 years, Cormac choked to death on a salmon bone. Remember when we talked about the times that his grandfather, the Druid, blessed him? That wasn't included in it, almost like the Achilles heel. And to the end of his life, it was his way to have wolves about him. For he knew their speech, and they his, and they were friendly and tame with him and his folk, since they were foster brothers together in the wild wood. Is the source, the high deeds of Finn and other bardic romances of ancient Ireland. You see, we're coming back full circle here because later in his life, Cormac was noted to have wolves circling him and spending time with him, because this man, almost like the Fisher King myth, brought prosperity and flourishment, abundance to the land under his good reign, because the High Kingship of Ireland was very much a ceremonial and sacramental part of our heritage and culture and tradition, and it brought prosperity. When there was a bad king, there was bad leaders, it brings bad times, as we know today. If I were to say to you, a future High King of Ireland was raised by a she-wolf, would you believe me? Oh yes.